Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making gulab jamun. Some of you all may call it fat kurma. This is not to be confused with rasgulla that they call gulab jamun in India. This is something totally different. It's a type of kurma that we make in Trinidad and Tobago. So to start this recipe, I'm adding all-purpose flour to my bowl. And to that, I'm going to go in with powdered milk. All of your ingredients, measurements will be in the description. I went in with some baking powder, but that is optional. In goes cardamom or elaichi. I'm using pumpkin spice today. I'm not adding any ginger, but if you wanted to put ginger, feel free to. Give that a quick mix to distribute those dry ingredients, and then we'll go in with ghee. If you don't have ghee, you can use butter. A rich butter like Kerrygold will be perfect here. So you just want to break that into the flour until it resembles fine breadcrumbs. And then we'll add in sweetened condensed milk. I'm going in with about 1/4 of a cup. If you wanted to add less or more depending on your taste preference, feel free to. If you add more, you'll need less evaporated milk, and if you add less, you'll need more evaporated milk. And we'll go in with our evaporated milk a little at a time until we can bring this together into a soft dough. You don't want to add all of the milk at once because different types of flour and the climate that you live in will require different amounts of milk. So add it in a little at a time until it comes together into a soft dough. If your dough is very hard, it's going to crack when it's frying, and if it's very soft, it's going to fall apart when it's frying. So you want that perfect medium, not too hard and not too soft. Once you have it, you're going to break it into small balls. So break off small pieces, squeeze it in the palm of your hand, roll it into a ball, and then roll it into a small log. You want this to be really nice and tight, so you want to press it and roll it properly, and you're going to continue doing this until you've made all of them. Once you've made all of them, we'll move on to frying on a medium-low heat. These need to take their time and cook. If you were to cook them on a high heat, they would be raw inside. So on my electric stove, I had it on a number 5. If you're using a gas stove, you want to make sure and keep it on a medium-low and keep turning it. You don't want them to burn. And they're going to take their time and they're going to get golden brown. And they're going to be a little crisp on the outside and nice and soft on the inside. Now remember, I put baking powder in here. If you're using it for puja, you can omit the baking powder. Unless you can get a baking powder that does not contain salt, you can use that. Set that aside to cool. Let's make the pag. I'm using 1 cup of sugar to 1/4 cup of water. This is the perfect amount of pag for this. And we're going to mix this until the sugar crystals dissolve. And we're going to mix until you start to see small bubbles forming. You really want those crystals to dissolve first. And you'll see here the bubbles start forming, but you still need to mix. When this is ready, it's going to coat the inside of that pot, and you're going to start to see white snow-like consistency with the sugar, and you can see it right there. It's starting to stick, and you can tell that it's ready. So you want to take this off of your heat immediately and pour it over your kurma. I don't use a candy thermometer because I feel like this is the best way that I figure out when the sugar is perfect. Just as it starts to coat that and it looks white like snow, you'll know it's ready. If you let it cook too much, it will crystallize and get really hard on you, and then your kurma will be patchy and it will not be coated properly. So you see how nice it went on here, and I'm taking my time and turning it so I don't break up the kurma, and it's coating it really well. So each piece is properly coated. And you just mix it until that sugar dries out on the outside of the kurma, and then it's ready to be used. If you're using it for puja, you can't eat from it until it's offered. And how simple was that? So I hope you guys enjoyed this updated recipe. I'm going to show you all last year when I did the coconut kurma, and you all can find that here on my YouTube channel, and I'll link it in the description. I did an icing sugar on the outside of the kurma, which was a more melt in your mouth consistency. So you're taking your icing sugar, using coconut milk or evaporated milk, flavoring it with some vanilla, and then pouring it over your kurma. You're going to toss to combine, and then we will place it on a wire rack to let the additional icing sugar drain off. And when this dries, you get that perfect thin layer of icing sugar that just melts in your mouth when you bite into this. It was absolutely delicious, and it's another way of doing it without having to do the sugar syrup if that's an issue for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe. Be sure to check out the coconut kurma recipe. Thank you all so much for joining me. Do remember to have a happy and safe Diwali, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.